Rage Whale. Three friends, too many opinions, one podcast. This is a warning. Serious spoilers up ahead.
A spoiler special on Joker, Folie, Deux, with Kev and Michael. This is a new format we're trying out. Just a spoiler special, one specific film. We hope you enjoy. Welcome, guys, to a strange episode of Rage Whale. We're going to do something a bit different, and we're going to keep doing it in the future. So this is not an episode number. So this is going to be a spoiler special. And I've got Michael, my big cousin, with me, and he's going to join us as a regular guest in the future. And we're going to talk about specifically a film that we watch each week or whenever we watch it. And this week we have seen Joker, Folie, Deux. And I've got a feeling, I've not spoke to you about this yet, I've got a feeling we're going to be completely opposite, and we're going to have we might argue about things, but you love her. So go on, you tell me, what was your thoughts? Well, do we even need to preface this by telling people what the film's about? Because I think everyone knows the biggest controversy about this film is everyone calling it a musical. I personally do not think it's a musical. It's got musical elements, and it's like 2 songs off being a musical. It's close to it.
It wasn't as bad. Obviously, I'd seen all the kind of chat about it, and everybody's saying this movie's complete trash. I wasn't. There was elements that I enjoyed about it, but I do get it does feel like a pointless movie. It feels like they were. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know how many decades is going to have to pass before I watch it again. I didn't dislike it. Do you know what I mean? But it was entertaining enough. But there's just something about. I think the musical element in it. It was just the song choices more than it was. And again, I don't think they added anything when they happened. Apart from some of the scenes, this is spoiler alerts in it. So, like, see when he's watching the news and he starts singing "Among the Prisoners."
When he's watching, oh yes, yeah, of course, yeah, that's the first big one, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that was good the way they done that. It felt intricate.
It was relevant to the story. He was daydreaming.
Relevant. But then when the other ones are some of the ones that's like, I don't know. There was something that's. I'm trying to look at it and watch it and think, is this something? What 3 years from now we're going to go? That was absolute genius.
Yeah.
But you know that kind of that Zack Snyder effect. Do you know what I mean? Where you don't appreciate it at the time. I don't think it is, but it might be.
Yeah, it's hard to defend the film. Because I completely agree with literally everything you just said. Because that first scene where he does the proper musical with the prison guards, he's watching himself just being on TV, and he starts daydreaming and have a little song and dance with all the prisoners, and then it ends and it was clearly a daydream, and he's a bit confused. And I thought that was great. It's if you think about it from Todd Phillips' perspective, the director, if you think the point of this person who is mad, we've agreed he's mad, he's insane, he's clinically insane, you're going to go into daydreams, you're going to have these weird moments, so it makes sense.
Medicated and things like that as well.
Oh yeah, you're high as anything,
and obviously he's not been taking his medication, so these things are getting
slipping. But that makes it a logical idea for him to do. Let's do one song and dance number. One would be good, and then that would be it. And if you did want to do multiple ones, it should be like a 30-second daydream and he's woken from it from some reason. It shouldn't be like a 10 minute, song that, do you know what I mean? It was too much.
I think the frustrating thing watching it, and it's happening live when you're watching it, there's this frustration that for me anyway, it dominates because you see so much potential in every scene. It's not the storyline, there's nothing wrong with the storyline, but it's just, it's a strange one because I wanted to come out and go, I actually liked that, or I've hated it, but I don't even know what I think about it. It's one
But
of those ones. Like,
your comment that it didn't need to happen is probably the most damning comment because it's correct. What did it give us? Didn't give us
nothing.
anything.
And I think the
No
tragedy
purpose.
is when I first watched the Joker, the first one, I came out and I literally thought that might be the saddest film I've ever watched. The cruelty of the world actually is, it's in big
It,
bright lights in that movie,
and it creates a monster. That's
and it
why all
creates
bad people.
and you
It's
understand where
yeah,
that monster comes from. Where in this film, it's almost like you just didn't care about him. It's, you know what I mean, and like, and to be honest, I think I wouldn't be surprised if again it's up for Oscars and all that next year. And I certainly wouldn't be surprised if Brendan Gleeson is up for Best Supporting Actor.
oh, he
Because
was good. To be
I
fair,
thought Brendan Gleeson, he just adds something when every time he's in something. He was really
yeah,
good. He had a nasty bit, but it wasn't subtle. His nastiness, you know what I mean? It was very playful.
yeah. I
And
did like him in that. I
and when I
thought it
was
was really good.
and again, that was the prison scenes of the Arkham scenes. Those were the scenes like when you were dragged away from it, you were like, I was happy in there, even though it was horrible and
I know.
it was
Didn't you like the subtle things, like when he was walking when the first time just before he met
umbrellas,
like Lady Gaga? No, with the
umbrellas.
umbrellas changing color.
Yeah, because it's all
Genius.
hinted. Yeah.
If they did loads, if they did all the
All of
way
that.
through, just peppered us with that and did one song dance
Yeah.
number at the end, I'd have gone,
I know.
oh, that was well executed.
And
But
even
it gave
even
us too much.
even in the court scenes, I love the court scenes, and again, that's where I was infuriated because it's so much potential. See when is it Zazie Beetz? What's her name? How do you,
Who?
the girl that was his neighbour who's testifying against him?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Is it Zazie Beetz?
I can't remember the name, I'm afraid.
When she's saying, "I've just wished that I'd called the police because then 5 people wouldn't have been murdered," and he's kind of sitting there going, "Oh yeah, fair enough." like I like those we kind of, that was showing his kind of insanity. Do you know what I mean? And it was, and see when he was in court. This was another one. I'm watching it. Was he actually as Joker in court? Like why would the
Yeah.
judge have allowed that?
Well, he said that. He said that's what the judge said. He said there's nothing in the rule book that he can't
Come as,
dress
yeah.
himself type thing. But I thought that was good as well when he did the. That's when I thought, okay, it's starting to pick up. This something good's going to happen. When he started doing the voice, he started pretending he was like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
"Oh, sir," like just being
I think
overacting.
it was thing with Fitch. Would you call him from what's that called? Gregory Peck to Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, right. Is that what he
Atticus,
was doing?
Atticus Finch. Yeah, that's kind of, well, Your Honour, is that kind of southern.
Yeah, yeah. I
Pretty
thought
funny.
it was quite funny. His whole like interview, whatever you call it when you're on court, when you're talking to the witness,
Yeah,
when he was talking to Gary Puddles. That was, and Gary Puddles,
that's
is that
right.
your real name? Are you sure? He just wouldn't let it go.
I know, Gary Puddles.
He brought it up like three times.
That guy done a really good job as well.
Yeah, it was so good because that was a funny section that ended actually a bit terrifying and a bit sad.
And even in the film, the first one where Gary Puddles couldn't get out the door,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You were always good to me." And he gives him a wee kiss and lets him go. There's moments in that film that are, they just, I don't know. And do you know something? I think I've definitely posted it. Maybe I posted it in when I originally seen the first Joker, or maybe in a comment. But I remember saying, "Do you know what would have made that movie perfect?" At the end, the perfect ending for Joker would have been to see like a child watching the Joaquin Phoenix on TV killing Murray,
Yeah.
and doing the clown thing, and to see a kid watch the TV. Maybe he's just killed his father. You can see he's been abused, but then he takes a knife to his mouth, and that would have been a Heath Ledger origin kind of.
Yeah.
I said that then because I was like, "There's a reason why this is set in the 80s." I knew back then. I was like, because working out the timeline, I says he's not the Joker. He's the guy that inspires the Joker. I said that when I watched the first one.
Well, I didn't pick up on that because even he meets Bruce Wayne between the gates as well, doesn't he?
But by the time Bruce Wayne's old enough to be Batman, he would be literally a pensioner. Do you know what I mean? So I knew that I was like, "There's a reason why," and it wasn't just because they'd done the whole Scorsese rip-off. There was more of a reason. And then when they done that one at the end of the Joker, the second one, when they had that moment where the guy does what he does and then does the.
Yeah.
I thought they could
It was
have
a
done
bit
that.
ham-fisted. It was
They
just
could have,
shove
they
it
could
into
have
the
done
end.
that at the end of the first one and saved us the second one. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Well,
They could have
well,
just done
that's the
that in
thing,
a moment.
right? Here's the big question: did that film sully the first one? Does it make you think less of the original? Because I think it does to me. Because the original was perfect, and it deserved all the accolades because it was in a time when we were getting bombarded by Marvel and we were getting bored.
Yeah,
And
and CGI.
here's the same situation, but done as a serious, even more serious, I'd say, than the Batman Begins and Dark Knight series. It was even more serious and
Well,
dark.
it was Oscar worthy, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it should be a standalone film and then never touched again.
and that's the thing. See when they say, "Oh, it was a standalone film," this is Todd Phillips' way going. If you don't want a sequel, listen. See if your movie makes $1 billion, you're going to have to make a sequel. And
Yeah,
to be honest, see all this, I don't even trust that this is it finished. Honestly, just
I
because
think it is. It's got to be.
No,
Have
I
you
don't
seen Have you
know.
seen the stuff online where they're filming Lady Gaga and
They were
Joaquin
talking, saying
Phoenix
it's crap.
and their mouth reading them saying, "Did you like that?" I thought
I
it was
know,
awful.
but do you think they want to leave it that way? That it's that it's
Maybe.
do you know what I mean? Who makes a one and a two? Everything's trilogy. Now, see if you make two, you're going to make three. And I just think, see
Well,
the
then it would
way.
be an origin for the real Joker, or we need to go further back. Either
No,
way,
I don't think so. I mean, just
I
because
don't
that
think.
guy did that, that just
He,
means he's inspired another person to be
I
a Joker.
suppose. Well, he's not
And to be
dead. He
honest,
can be in prison. It can be the new Joker visiting the old Joker in prison or
he
something.
can.
Oh no, he's dead.
It's just the fact. But is he dead?
Spoiler.
I don't think he is dead.
Well, he got stabbed pretty much.
I know, but he gets stabbed in the middle of the stomach. It's the best place to get stabbed. If he'd walked up and stabbed him in the kidneys, I would be like, oh, or a liver shot, or you know what I mean. But it was just
Yeah.
this right there. If it, you can survive that, no bother. You know what I mean? But again,
But I get the feeling he's meant to be murdered because I think the cops took him there not for a phone call. That's why the cop didn't come
no, I
back.
said he'd a visitor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not. He wasn't a visit. The cop was in. There's loads of these programs where
Yeah,
the
I know,
cops they
I
want
don't,
him killed.
but so I know and that doesn't make sense to me because the guy's walking round and that guy stops him. So yeah, you could say that
Yeah,
the
but he's not.
cops.
They're not meant to be walking freely. He's been allowed in that section, so it's been a sanctioned
I
murder.
know, but he's just in the corridor,
Yeah, but
just
it's a
off for the TV room. So it's not like it's
Mm.
not. He's not come through any doors. He's literally turned the corner to go to from the where they were sitting watching TV.
I don't know. I can't imagine they're just allowed to walk randomly around corridors in prison. They've got to stay in a room. Surely there's
Because that's
guards on
he
each.
basically passed the window where he gets the medication, and it's just
Maybe.
it's that kind of
But-
hallway. And
But the
again,
cop would have heard it. He did a whole fucking knock knock joke, lots of stabbing. Then he sat there for a bit, cut his face, and no one came back.
I know, but look at the first one that misled you because he at the end of the first Joker he says, she says, "What you laughing at?" He says, "It's just a joke. You wouldn't get it." And then he comes out of that appointment to the doctor, and he's got blood footprints.
Yes, yeah.
So he never murdered them because he's only murdered 5 people.
It's
So
in his brain, isn't it?
So again, there was all, and again, that's the problem between the first one and the second one. The first one had so many unanswered questions, and the second one leaves you with just as many. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose, yeah, it could have been a fantasy sequence, and he's just daydreaming about his own murder. But
And I think the best ending that second one could have done, like, I was like, because no matter what, I don't think you can do any origin story without acknowledging the hero. Do you know what I mean? Although we get Bruce Wayne in the first one, I just think the perfect ending for that second one would have been maybe he's sitting with grey hair, time's passed, and he's sitting and he's just staring at the TV, nothing, and then people are still trying to making fun of him to make a joke. And then somebody says something like, "No, he's no made a joke in 15 years." And then there's a news flash about Batman, and maybe it shows you a bit of Batman footage, and he's just staring there, and you just see a smile, just to acknowledge that there is a Batman and that he's seen that Batman. Like, I want to see. I don't even need to see the Batman. I just need to see that Joaquin Phoenix sees the Batman that he's created, and the excitement of the confusion or the.
Did you see we got Wayne Towers in the sequel?
Yeah,
There's a shot where he was in the taxi, and it
the
was
taxi.
and you saw the Wayne Towers there as well.
I mean, it literally looks like the same Gotham as the Nolan ones.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
they
mean?
said that they CGI'd all the graffiti and stuff. They just used real street scenes, and they didn't even do any set design. It was literally CG. So there's no CGI in the film really, because there's nothing to fucking action it.
Yeah.
But all the graffiti on the trains are all afterthoughts, VFX and stuff like that.
What did you think of Gaga?
I thought she was very good, and what annoys me is that people like my podcast host James, when we speak to him, is that he hasn't seen it yet, and he's not gonna bother because of the bad negative reviews. He hates Lady Gaga. He thinks she's shit. He can't stand her in films, and this is another excuse for him to no offense to James, but he'll believe it, but he'll jump on the bandwagon of, oh, Lady Gaga ruined it because it's a musical and she sings. But I genuinely think she was very good. I would like to know if it was going to be as musical as it was, and then they thought, let's get a singer on, or did they get Lady Gaga on and go, well, let's use her as best we can, and let's make these sequences even bigger and better than we thought, and it fucked it.
When she's sitting on the piano and it lost its. Although
that sequence was very good.
It was, but it still takes you out of. It still takes you out of.
The prison break.
She doesn't become Harley Quinn, then she becomes Lady Gaga when she's sitting there.
Oh, that was pure Lady Gaga. There was no acting involved in that section, but she was playing a performer and she performed.
I really liked Gaga in A Star Is Born. I thought she did a good job.
So did I.
Then she did that House of Gucci, and everybody in that was just the worst.
I've not seen that.
Apart from Adam Driver. Adam Driver was pretty good. But I think she went into this kind of. Have you ever seen the interview where she's sitting with Salma Hayek, and she's talking about Stanislavski and all the kind of acting?
No.
All the acting training. It's cringe. So basically, she's sitting in the. So how did you prepare for the role as one of the Gucci's, whatever part she played? And she says, "Well, I started studying Stanislavski and just all these kind of." It sounded like somebody that's just in their first year at acting school, and they're shouting all these names out. She literally shouts out about 4 different names. Oh, the Meisner technique, and I did a bit of this, and you can see Salma Hayek sitting there like that.
Well, she's trying to. I get it. She's trying to prove herself where everyone's against her, probably. Whereas most of the best actors don't talk about any of that. They just go, "I just feel it. I did some research, and I believed I was that." They just they inhabit where she was trying to use techniques. I get what she's trying to do, but I do think she was good in the roles. I liked seeing her not look like Lady Gaga, like looking normal, like at the very beginning when she was like pasty. I think that's probably one of the most attractive times I've ever seen her.
100%. And I say that even in The Star Is Born, she's got a very unique beauty when she's just plain. And she does all that other stuff. I've actually met Gaga.
What?
When we lived in LA, I was out for drinks with friends in a club.
Just slotting out. I used to live in LA.
No. She was in Eva Longori's restaurant called Besso.
Okay.
And it's a total hotspot. And remember, this is 2008. She wasn't that famous. She had just brung out Let's Dance, or Just Dance. Yeah. And I was actually standing at the bar, and her friend started talking to me, because she's like, "What is that accent?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from Scotland." She thought I was German at first.
What the fuck?
But she's like, "This is my friend Gigi." It was all that kind of thing. And I recognised her because the song was huge at the time. And she spoke she was very shy. Finn was doing all the talking. But I remember just going back and going, "Oh, that's that girl that's just brought that song out." She had like a black wig on, she didn't have the blonde hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a brief moment, but she came across really shy.
Oh.
So
I'm sure she's a good person. Like I said, I thought her performance was fantastic, and I do think that the blame of the film's going to get laid at her doorstep, and unjustly, because she just did as she was told, and she was great in the sections that she did. I just don't think her role was the best way. Like when she lost interest towards the end of him go, well, you're not the Joker. You're Arthur Fleck. I'm here for the Joker. I faked all my mentalness to get into that home, and then I clocked myself out when you left.
It's kind of like
And
the Superman Lois Lane
well,
effect in it. Does Lois Lane would she love Clark Kent if he wasn't Superman?
no,
And
I think she did later on. Yeah,
and ultimately she actually does, but obviously Harley Quinn doesn't. She needs the.
and isn't it weird that that scene in all the posters where they're dancing down those long steps doesn't exist, doesn't
There
happen.
was so much. She kisses somebody on the steps as well. They cut that.
Oh yeah, kiss that woman that's calling her like a whore or something.
A total improv thing.
Yeah,
And
they should have had that in. That was a great. That just that would have accentuated her ferocity.
I know. I don't. You actually wonder though, don't you? Like Joaquin Phoenix, he's made so many good choices as an actor.
Yeah,
From the beginning, you'll look a long time to find something that he's done that's crap. And
it won't be crap. His performance would be great in that crap film.
no, but even his films are usually you can always walk away and go, there's something. He's always good in it. But you wonder what they read there when they said, right, dust off your Oscar, we're going for part 2 or Deux. And you think, what did they read there that they went, yeah, let's do this? And again, back to your kind of first question there about, I believe that, I think when Gaga came on board, there probably was this, let's make it more musical. You know what I mean? Like,
I think so too.
And I think it's a bad joke. I think the whole film's a bad joke.
And there is an argument that it's meant to not be that good. It's deliberately meant to be, because the first film gave you a bit of hope, and it was kind of yes, it was melancholy. Yes, it was scary and ferocious and whatever. It had all these different elements.
But there was a build-up to that ferocity. Do you know what I mean?
When I was in the cinema watching with Sadie, she would piss herself during moments that were very inappropriate to. Like when he does the laugh, at the beginning it's a bit weird, it's a bit jarring, and then when it's creepy when he does it, everyone in the cinema, you're a little bit like unnerved, and Sadie is literally like choking on her drink and like or popcorn and loving it. And when he kills that guy and kisses the little guy on the forehead, she's like cracking up. It's like, you're not going to find any of this funny. She goes, that's brilliant.
I know the first time that he laughs, and that's the frustrating thing, because see, the first Joker, it's mapped out so good. Like, he's in a comedy club. The point is, he wants to make the world laugh, but he doesn't get jokes. He doesn't get them. When he's in the comedy club, he's the audience laughing. He's like, ha, ha, ha. He's not even laughing. He doesn't get the joke.
Well, it's a psychopath, isn't it? Psychopaths are trying to copy.
The first time he actually gets the joke is when he's watching Murray, when his mum's in hospital, and Murray's making fun of him. That's the first time he gets the joke, and he's not laughing. And he's watching the TV, and he's like, and it's landed, and that's the first time in the whole film that he actually gets the joke, but it's on him, so it's not funny. And that's when his defense mechanism is the Joker, and then to take that defense mechanism, which is again, you're actually rooting for him, because when he's sitting on a train and there's guys beating him up, you're going, you want him to kill them, and you want maybe the big guy that gets stabbed in the eye, maybe he didn't deserve it, but like Gaga said, when I was watching you on Murray, I was sitting there thinking, I hope you blow this guy's head off. And in a way, everybody's kind of thinking that way. Although it built up that he was going to kill himself, we kind of knew, he's actually going to shoot him. But to take that character that's the development, we want to see where he goes after that to become the king of the city. Do you know what I mean? And although there's this, he's not actually the Joker, big reveal at the end, it's disappointing.
But they had the whole city rooting for him, you know?
Exactly, so he is the Joker, regardless of what
he could have got away with so much. There could have been so much fun. I know it would have been maybe too jovial for the style, but him escaping and just being around.
They escaped perfectly.
Well, yeah, there could have been 300 other Jokers standing there. You wouldn't better find him in in a sea of other Jokers. And they played on that in the first film with all the masks.
That's the things that kind of, again, when was she on those stairs? Did she already kill herself? Do we know?
I just thought that scene at the end with her
I mean,
chatting
why did the
just
police
was really
directly?
pointless.
Why did the police go there directly? Like,
Yeah, how did they know to be there?
and this is the
Yeah.
point of the whole. I'm all for watching a movie and letting you make your own mind up about the ending, but there's so many questions on this. Like, did she actually go in the cell with them? She's like, oh, they let him in here. Why would they let him in there?
Oh, when they had sex. Yeah.
Aye, well, that doesn't make sense to me.
Was she actually pregnant? And if she is pregnant, what's going to happen to that?
I don't know.
Are these things real? I'm not sure.
I know. And remember with the in the first movie, he had this make believe relationship with his neighbour.
Yeah.
So I was thinking through most of the film that the relationship with her was make believe as well. Like when she set the piano on fire and then they're outside dancing, like how did they make it to the gate? Well, that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And
that scene, that dance scene was rubbish. That didn't need, that was...
It was pointless.
No.
Again.
Take that out.
If they had escaped there, great. Do you know what I mean?
I would have edited that out. I would have kept the big dance number with the piano. Yeah. I'd have had the one in the one where he's looking at himself in the TV doing the dance number. And I think that's it. Maybe one in the courtroom. Then that's one in each scenario.
Even the courtroom one.
I thought it was funny because he sang the song. I just thought they thought of what songs have got the word Joker in it and just use those.
I was actually going to say that to you. It was all these terrible song choices.
And no relevance apart from a word.
Exactly, one word. And not only that, I don't mind listening to somebody sing and it sounds a bit realistic. But then when it kicks in, let it be done in a sound booth professionally and sound good. I felt as if it sounded crap throughout the full song. No matter what the song was, at no point.
But I do like this is a bit of a niche one. You probably don't know this, but when he sang that one in the courtroom, "The Joker is me," that song. Have you heard of a comedy show called Kath and Kim from Australia?
No.
It's so good. It's just a silly like two women. Just it's like a proper funny comedy sort of show. All Australia. It's on Netflix. Kath and Kim, highly recommend. It's just ridiculous and crap. But at the beginning, that is the intro song, and so when that came on, it's a serious moment.
The actual song.
Yeah, it's the actual song.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, okay.
And we and Sadie looked at each other because we watched that series all the time. Just cracked up. It just.
What did Sadie think of it?
She didn't think it was bad. She didn't think it was. I think everyone's in the similar. If you've actually blocked out the noise, gone to watch it, you're going to walk out. I think most people are going to walk out going, I'm confused because there were so many good moments, but it wasn't good. It wasn't a great. It was a bad film, but it was good moments.
I went last night, Kevin, and I swear to God, in a theatre with maybe 30 people in it, 6 people walked out at different times. I've never seen MD walk out a movie. Genuinely never seen the MD walk out a movie.
Me neither. I've heard that. No,
I had and the last two people to leave, and it was always at the dance scenes. Literally, the courtroom, I think 3 or 4 people, I think 2 people walked out, and then another 2 people had followed. Yeah, and I'm like...
When you got that far in, just stick around the next 20 minutes.
Like, what's the... You must be curious. But I think there was that many spoilers that everybody knew it was going to happen anyway.
Oh, right. I'm trying to think. I think it was only the other week, the first time I've ever seen someone walk out of the cinema, and I've never...
The Crow?
No, it was... It was The Substance with Demi Moore.
Alright, because it's quite... I've not seen that. Is it horrendous? Like,
it's fantastic. It's one of the best films of the year.
Yeah, I love Demi Moore. I've always loved Demi Moore.
And 2 women, I'm guessing middle-aged-ish. No, actually, I'm fucking middle-aged. They're older than me, so maybe 50s. And they just trundled out.
Middle-aged?
Apparently.
When did that happen?
It's not great, is it? I keep thinking that older people are middle-aged still.
Yeah.
I'm like middle-aged.
No, they're
That's
pensioners.
So my middle age now is OAPs. So yeah, they walked out. I was like, why'd they walk out? I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot of nudity and a lot of blood. Fair enough.
Oh, that sounds good. I might watch it.
Oh, it's fantastic. Demi Moore is incredible. Margaret Folie,
she almost
incredible.
has been. Well, I can't think of anything.
I think she wanted to just do the family thing for a while. I don't think she was ostracized out of Hollywood, but I've got a feeling that things did push her out that she didn't come back for, and she probably had a bad I think she had a bad situation in Hollywood, didn't she?
I think the Ashton Kutcher thing. Obviously, she was great with a guy.
Oh yeah, of course.
So there was
Forgot
that
about
thing that was weird for Hollywood. It's never weird when a guy dates a younger woman, but when a woman with kids dates a younger guy, it becomes really frowned upon. And she had also a lot of work done. So remember she done Charlie's Angels? She looked
Yeah.
incredible, but she was like 40, and people were like,
I
"Oh my
know.
god, look how good she looks! She should look good. She's only 40." You know what I mean?
I think she's. I think I checked. I think she's 63.
Yeah. So
And
how long ago was Charlie's Angels? Maybe she was like 45 then.
oh, she's done a few things since then, but all kind of small things. Yeah, she's popped up in a lot of films, but she's
She
not
did
had her film.
Meet the Joneses, or is it the Joneses? No, the Joneses Next Door.
Yeah,
Keeping Up with the Joneses.
yeah, it's called The Joneses.
That was a good movie with David Duchovny.
Oh, that was good. She's been a few like Rough Night with Scarlett Johansson, where like the girls go on a hen night. Yeah,
I
she's
don't
been
remember that. I don't remember her in that.
she's been in a bunch of stuff, but none of them have been her movie. It's just been like, oh, at
Cameo.
minute 57, she's popped up for 1 minute, and that's it.
No.
Whereas this is very much her movie. She is the star, and she's incredible.
I think, like, look at Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. They're still playing 40-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? Even though they're 60. And I think when a woman is like 45 to 55, 60, there's not really a place for her unless she looks really old. But if you look great, there's no job for you.
I think things are changing. I think
They
as
should,
people get
'cause-
older, people are getting more interesting roles, especially women, which I'm there for. You know, I think when you're young, it's probably obviously you have to be old to recognize this, because when you're young, you get all the I'm the hot person roles or whatever you're deemed for, and then there's a gap in the middle where you're not hot and you're not old, you're kind of average, so you're dismissed. And then
we were watching a film the other day. Was it a movie? What were we watching? Or maybe it was just an interview, and it was like Julia Roberts. Like Julia Roberts has aged so good.
yeah,
She just fits in, and it's a laugh and it's a smile. She's like moonbeams. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
There's just something contagious about her.
What did you watch it? Was it Ticket to Paradise or Leave the World
No, do you know
Behind?
something? I actually think I was just watching her on a Graham Norton or something.
Okay.
It was maybe in a kind of interview. Oh no, sorry, but we watched Notting Hill.
Oh,
We were watching that
fantastic.
with Christian, and we watched, and it's like Julia Roberts is like such a safe space. Do you know that way? Like
Yeah.
she's never done a bad movie. There's just something. She's like the female Tom Cruise kind of. You just know you're in good hands. When you watch them. Do you know what I mean?
Again, she should have done more. That film that was
she's
on
been really
Netflix,
selective.
that Leave the World Behind. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, great movie.
I didn't like the ending, but I was impressed by the whole story. It was one of those films that frustrated me a bit at the end, but she was great in it, and it was a great story.
It was also pretty washed with white guilt as well, wasn't there? There was a lot of kind of.
Oh yeah, there was, wasn't there?
It's like, oh, this man's turned up is because he's black. Maybe it's just because there's a guy chapping at his door. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, do you know what I mean?
I'd be more scared of a man. If I was a woman, I'd be scared of a man. Full stop.
Yes,
doesn't
do you know
matter.
what I mean? And I think that was the kind of. I don't know. I don't even know if people actually are that way. Maybe they're in America. Do you know what I mean? But I don't remember.
I think in America it's probably a little bit more heightened. I'd say.
It was just the fact that, from my memory, and again, I can't. It's been a while since I watched it, and I've only seen it the once. But there was this kind of, "Are you sure you belong in this neighbourhood?" kind of thing, because
Yeah.
who was the actor?
What in Leave the World Behind? Was that not
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali?
It was.
It was,
great
yeah,
actor.
Mahershala Ali.
Again, fantastic actor.
And Ethan Hawke and Kevin Bacon pops up as well. I like
Yeah.
that. I love those guys.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon does solid work as well. But anyway, I'm drifting off the point there.
Well-
But there's just people that do that kind of. And Demi Moore's one of them as well. She put out solid, great work for years, like Indecent Proposal. And that. These movies are epic.
Well, everyone forgets as well that she was in Ghost as well. It's like,
We watched that last week.
Did
We were
you?
watching all these old movies.
How
for Christmas.
bad is the CGI of the ghosts, the
Really bad.
shadow ghosts?
It's like Highlander. James.
we're just wrapping up our little spoiler special on Joker. James has just joined us. Last question I've got on Joker then is, well, I think we kind of answered
why
it.
so serious?
The fact that we had it made it over $1 billion, and it was the first, before Deadpool and Wolverine, it was the first R-rated movie to gross over $1 billion. That has got to be the sole reason for making a sequel rather than actually wanting to and make something good.
And it's predicted this will lose 160 million.
Yeah, apparently they need to make 450 million to break even on both projects.
And they're not going to.
So basically, they got $1 billion, made a sequel, and at the end of both films, they're in deficit because the second was that badly received.
Kev, do you remember a couple of months ago when I said how bad it's going to be because Lady Gaga ruins everything?
Told you, nailed that comment. On that, I'll end this because we're going to start a real episode. Thanks for listening. This was me and Michael.
Hello.
No, say bye. We're going.
All right. Bye. Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao, bella. All right. Tune in later this week, I'm guessing, whenever I do this. And there'll be a full episode with Michael. See you later. Bye-bye.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.